listeners' comments, right? Closest
Yeah.
to the front.
One thing, after last meeting, I contacted DEP, and I contacted two people who were supposed to
Can
come
you
down.
speak up a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Well, I contacted DEP after the meeting last week, just to verify a few things. And I contacted two people that came down to Mr. Uberti's, and they both told me they never went to Gardner Hill. They have never went to Gardner Hill. They don't even know where it's at. So that's all I did. I just called to check, and then I asked them about tire issues and how we should be taking care of them. You know what I mean? Because I know it's getting to be an issue with the diseases and that the mosquitoes bring. So, I talked to the lady pretty much on that. She was pretty helpful with it. You know, we discussed it for about 15 minutes, I would say.
I think this is through BEP, right?
Yeah, I think it would be. But I contacted them both, and I talked to her first, and she said the other guy was with me, and she gave me his number, because he said, well, maybe he went somewhere else after we left. You know what I mean? So I contacted him, and he told me the same thing.
So this was prior to the October meeting?
Yes, after the October meeting. But anyways, it was a good discussion about tires. You know what I mean? So I want to know where I stand and what to do with them, because I always have 100 of them. You know what I mean? And anyway, it's pretty good. And I just wanted to check it out myself. And they have no say-so on what's being evacuated. They do not say if it can be there or anywhere else. No, cars, anything. DEP, you do not call DEP if you see a junkyard. You call DEP if you see pollution.
I think DEP, they were notified the watershed.
No, I don't know why they call it. I never called it.
What are you talking about, Joe's land?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, when I got discussion with them about when they were down here and stuff, you know, the discussion was, well, I said, I'm not calling to complain or bitch about or turn anybody in. I just want to know if you came down here and went to Gardner Hill, and what's the subject? And they said they don't know where Gardner Hill is. They've never been there. It was not there, either one of them. But anyways, on the tire deal, and the only other thing they told me that he does have a tire problem. So, and they will be back in another later date to make sure it's taken care of. So,
Hey,
that
Joe,
was it.
let me ask you, you told me you had writing from DEP with it off and everything?
I did speak to you about it.
Yeah, you said it last month's meeting.
It's not Gardner Hill, it's Cleveland.
Well, okay, it is Cleveland Street.
That's what I don't know.
Were they up it?
I think Brian's confused.
No, I'm not. They never did go
Well,
all
we're not
into
wrong.
place.
I've been there several times.
You said you do have paperwork?
It's all on computer.
You said you had papers?
No, I never agreed.
No, you guys asked for papers.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you said computer.
Go back now.
Let's see if we can find some on. If you can find anything. We can try.
If I may,
On the same subject?
yeah,
Okay.
I believe your comment was, I think Mr. Uberti said that DEP was up there and visited him.
That's the way I took it.
Yeah. And I also think he said that he come out and stated it was okay, DEP approved him to have a junkyard in the watershed. He said, DEP said it was okay to have something in the watershed. And your comment was, do you have that in writing? And he said, no, it's on their website. And you said, well, can you produce it in writing?
That's what I want to see, black and white.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Well, let's see if we can contact them.
Yeah, I think you were gonna look for some correspondence from the 27 last, you would think that you try to get in.
Well,
Their being defunded by EPA and so forth right now, so it's a little slow.
But like I said, Franny mentioned Gardner Hill, and they said you weren't there, but actually, it is paved street till you
Well,
hit
no,
Falls
you
Township.
give me
There's two
address.
addresses he's talking
No,
about.
they only went to 2 places that day.
Wouldn't it be helpful to have some specific names of who
They went,
talked to who?
they went to Gap and they went
Franny knows
to,
everything.
Well,
Like I
I'm
said,
asking Richard, wouldn't it be helpful for you people, for Joe, to do specific names, who came up?
why don't you just call them and ask the same questions I did?
You did call the Meadville office, right?
Yeah, I'll get you the numbers.
First of all, there's no junk here on Cleveland.
Well, I don't believe that either.
I asked you last time, will you let us go up and look?
No,
You
it's
won't?
private property, that's what I told you last time.
You said you think about it.
No, I can still think about it, yeah.
So you won't let us?
Why should I?
Well, we want to know if there's a junkyard, simple as that.
I told you there wasn't.
I would,
There's no licensed appraisers here to calculate that.
Well, I guess we turn it over to our lawyer. I mean, if you want us to come look,
who,
Did Joe Uberti get a tear down permit in the last couple of months?
for what, where, I didn't,
That old garage in Forest. It's been leaning over for years there. I just noticed it's missing down there.
goes through county too, right? How big was it? Like a two-stall garage or just, I mean, it was,
It wasn't mine, it was, my father's shed.
it was a shed on your father's property?
I think it was like 6 by 8,
Oh, you, okay,
yeah.
it wasn't like a two-stall
No.
garage?
It was a single stall.
It was a single stall.
Sat there for years.
Does your junk, you have a junk ordinance, does that just deal with vehicles?
Not necessarily,
No,
we
yeah.
can go into all that things. It could be appliances, it could be anything, Christie.
Well, let's look into it. I said, Joe, you won't let us come up and look?
I'll take it under consideration.
Oh, you said that last time.
I'll say it again this time. Yeah.
I'll, can I,
Okay, Franny, you done?
please,
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
you're gonna take it up to your attorney? Can
Well,
I?
we don't have to keep playing games. I mean,
Well,
if there's an issue, let's get it
Who
resolved.
would that be? I think I know.
Our attorney,
Rick Brown,
I can say, Meyer Wagner.
Meyer Wagner, Brown, Kraus, no.
That's,
Okay, now, I believe that, we're not making a search. We're going to reserve, he's trying to claim a significant portion of my property. And, the reason he's trying to claim my property is, he needs my road to start in the local junkyard up there, or to feed his junkyard on Gardner Hill. And I believe if Mr. Kraus is going to represent Joe Uberti, and I think it's a conflict of interest for him to represent the township in this matter.
I think he's true. Go on to the next person.
well, you can talk.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, the
like I
fact
said, Brown is our
well,
solicitor.
the fact of the matter is, the same law firm is representing this issue, and I think it's a conflict of interest, and I think that should be addressed. And secondly, if you would like to view, all the junk vehicles on the Uberti property, you're more than welcome to come to my property and walk up the property line. And now that the leaves are down, they're quite visible.
We have to do that.
As far as the solicitor, I mean, we are, it's my understanding, we got to basically retain it with Rick Brown, so we just can't jump ship.
Yeah, we're not gonna change.
No, I can, when you've told me that, I can ask him if that's a conflict of interest when we're talking to Brown, you know, at that point in time. See what he says about it, you know.
Where else go from there?
I just wondered if at the last meeting, to you, Bertie said that, DEP said, and I believe I'm correct, said that it was okay to have a junkyard in the watershed. And I wonder if the supervisors have looked into this issue, whether you're going to allow junkyards in, on their, drinking water.
There is no such thing that we're talking about.
No?
No, we're not gonna allow it.
No, no water.
Okay,
Nothing to ruin our water.
thank you.
If I could comment about what he said about the watershed, I believe there was something mentioned about retaining ponds.
Yeah. Plus,
So
I'm not in the watershed. The
Right, but I
watershed is
mean,
Burns.
But you were talking about he had watershed
Right,
to prevent
right.
that. That was a problem.
When we get in,
They're full of fish also, I might add, healthy fish.
and when we come down, we have something else, I'll bring up about watersheds there. I mean, on another issue pertaining to that area. Okay, Jim, anything else?
Oh, on that subject, no.
Okay, now,
Now, at the last meeting, I asked y'all about looking into the numerous vehicles next door to my property. And I'd like to know what progress we made.
Like, yeah,
Jeremy will actually.
we had sent a letter, like we told you we were sending a letter, he actually, your neighbor actually came in, and talked to Deb. I was at work, he called me from here at work, we talked. We're going to, meet with him, he works second shift, we're gonna meet with him on a morning that we can all get together to look at what, he invited us up to see what he has and discuss what he can do with it. He has asked about possibly obtaining a junkyard license. We gave him a copy of the junkyard ordinance. We also gave him a copy of the nuisance ordinance. I also told him he could simply put up a pole barn if he said there were a handful of them that he wanted to keep because he's working on parting out, whatever. Okay. So I gave him his options, and Deb gave him a copy of each, the nuisance ordinance and the junkyard ordinance, because he's considering getting a junkyard license. But we're gonna meet with him to see what he has and answer his questions once we can see what he's dealing with, other than him telling me over the phone, I got a couple Buicks I want, I got this, I got that. You know, we're gonna actually go up there and physically meet with him, so.
Now, if this is gonna be, whatever, I mean, according to what you got here, he's got to comply with.
If he were to be, apply to be a junkyard,
Right.
yes, he'd have to do
Yeah.
everything, that's what that ordinance is.
Right, so that's where he's got to lay out
If that's around tanks, yeah.
what he wants. Now,
He has a copy of all that right here. He knows it.
Right, I explained to him that he'd have to
yeah,
abide by everything in there and have
sometimes it
records.
ain't one-on-one. Now, this allows him to do that. Now, is there any provisions that he's got to prove a business license? Rather than just you saying, okay, you can have a junkyard and you move all these cars in.
We don't deal with this.
I don't have it in front of me, but I believe there's something in there that says he has to maintain records in that ordinance.
You have to maintain titles.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, as far as y'all go, three, it don't matter whether he's got a business license or not, as long as he applies for a junkyard permit.
Yeah, if he applies, but maybe couldn't, we have to award it to him too.
Right.
He applies.
Yeah, he has to meet all the criteria in there, whether it be fence or all, I mean, like I said, I don't have it in front of me, but
Now, in the meantime, what are we doing about when is this process, you gonna meet him?
probably in the next couple weeks after Thanksgiving
And then,
sometime. In the meantime,
timeframe,
until we can all get together and sit with him or walk the thing with him,
Which, like I said,
he's already come to us, so that's where it holds until we can all have a
And
meeting.
another way to do it, we get a decision from him what direction he's going.
Right.
Is he gonna pursue to go with a junkyard permit, or is he just restoring his, a collector? We don't know.
He's probably grandfathered, isn't he?
there was no, that's what I'm saying, when I moved here 8 years ago, there was no junk cars at all.
I
Other than
know
no
I was
cars.
in before.
But no, I'm not even getting into that with you. This is between me and these guys, right?
Right. No,
You know what I'm saying?
between now and when we
You know, I mean, look at it, if I would've bought that lot next to you, tore down Calvin's thing and started putting junk cars in, would you like it?
No, but I didn't like that building sit there all those years either,
Well,
but I
okay,
didn't have to say it.
you've done
I
something
didn't know
about
that.
it.
Now I do.
You've done something
Yes,
about it.
I
But
bought it.
Sam, I mean, if it was already there, that's different. But, you know, what's gonna happen to my value, you know, if I decide to sell and they go up there, well, what's that? Oh, it's a junkyard next door. You know, and so if he can get it where everything is legal with you guys, then I'll probably took them down here and say hello. But, you know, just,
Right,
you know,
I mean, that's.
somebody's got to actually sit down and talk with this.
We are.
Yeah,
You say you're going to, I mean, you haven't yet, okay?
He just
Oh,
told.
no,
It sounded like you talked to him on the phone, but I talked to Victor a year ago about this. That's all I'm saying.
contacted us. All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, anything
Kind
else?
of like a repair service or something.
No,
No.
nothing.
No.
Anything else, Jim?
No.
Any other issues? Okay.
Not unless I blink some.
Holly,
Oh, Holly, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. You good? Christine?
3 quick things. At the last meeting, the lunatic club, was gonna send you a letter that they want to terminate their.
They turned in the keys.
You turned the keys in, but you didn't get a letter yet.
Debbie reminded them that we wanted something in writing, but they did give the keys back to us. They're done with the building.
And supposedly, they said there's not stuff they moved out. We didn't go in, we just got the keys, what, yesterday, Tuesday. So probably, like I said, Monday, we're gonna be gone, but maybe the following Monday, we can go off, yeah. I mean, within a couple of weeks, yeah. Yeah, there's supposedly, we didn't get the letter yet, which I told Mr. Weedle prior to the meeting, when he said they wanted to break the contract. He said, get it in writing, and we haven't, so. Till we get it, but like I said, they turned the keys in, and supposedly they cleaned out whatever they had in there. And we will go, probably over to the seal, yeah.
What else did you have, Christine?
I see you got a stackpole hall grant, what will that be used for?
We're gonna bring that up.
Get later in the meeting.
Yeah.
And, I had a comment on the flooding. You want me to wait till you get to that, or?
Well, yeah, that's gonna be,
Yeah, flood.
let's do that when we